So oftentimes I become inspired when things are obscured from people's knowledge. For example, when I saw a video on the FB saying, "This is the secret to the Merkaba," and it essentially said, "The secret is all of these circles make all of the platonic solids, and you can arrange it to build any essential shape, and that's the secret to the universe." And that's it, which is silly. Consider this: if you look throughout time and history, any time there have been mystics, this particular structural arrangement has appeared, which is the flower of life, right? But if you look at it, like especially over there on frame 6 and 9, you could make out a cube if you have any sort of good pattern recognition skills. But if you've ever had any near death experiences or transcendental experiences, chances are you experience some aspect of this. For me, it was pink colored, which is kind of cute. But I also experienced it as sort of a big, massive, very two-dimensional form in my consciousness, which is interesting. It makes me wonder if it was two-dimensional at all, or whether the fact that it was trans-dimensional kind of skewed my view. If you reduce this figure down, you're going to find something very interesting. You're going to see something maybe like the Star of David, maybe. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because we all see the same stuff across time and culture. It could also be considered to be the unity of the male and female, or masculine and feminine aspects of human consciousness and being. And I'll get into that a little bit later. But as you can see in this diagram that I so lovingly swiped from Pinterest, that they are rotating in opposite directions. The feminine being on the bottom, the masculine being above. These two aspects combined, rotating, create a space donut, essentially, a toroidal field that envelops most humans. The average toroidal field is about 6 feet, I believe. But essentially, it is like the electromagnetic field that is produced by human beings. Here's a good representation of the polarity of the space donut that is us. And here, for anybody who's into esotericism and yoga and stuff, is that energy field with the energy centers of the body marked in different colors. Also, if you'll notice, the center of that donut is the human heart, which even in the chakra system is the unity of both masculine and feminine aspects of self. So whether you've got gonads or eggs, you've got both masculine and feminine energies. Masculine is the sun, photon energy, logic, structure. Feminine is the moon. It is emotion. It is complexity. It is the material world, right? Any truly balanced person will kind of have a strong understanding of the dialectic between these two things. The masculine aspect is the science mind, right? And it's fixated on linearity, where the feminine aspect is cyclical. It's in touch with the cycles. It's intuitive, right? Which is interesting because the time space that we experience in the day to day, most obviously, a lot of the times is linear, but goes through a bunch of cycles, whether it's like repeating patterns of thought, repeating patterns of behavior, or the cycles of reproduction. Everything kind of with all of this goes from a micro scale to a macro scale. There's even corresponding elements, as you can see, male being fire and air, the feminine being earth and water, but there being an overlap, right? And there is sort of an interpenetration of opposites, and a lot of people have more dominant traits on either one of these sides. If you consider that old adage, as above, so below, you can see that within the human being, or even like the old stories where Shiva, in order to create material reality, churned the cosmic ocean with the great snake Vasuki. As with that, we start out at the Muladhara, at the bottom of the cosmic ocean, the sea, or, the root of our being, which is Earth, right? And as that energy churns up, it goes up to the sacral, the reproductive organs, still sort of in the feminine. And this would be signified, I believe, by water. Yeah, it's water. It's the waters of creation, right? And then you go from there to the solar plexus, which is about fuel, energy, self-determination. And that's where you start to kind of get closer to the center of the human toroidal field, from the solar plexus to the heart, which is at the center. And it's the unity of both aspects, right? And at the heart, at the center, that's where I see sort of the dialectic. That to me is what Kalki, sort of the latest incarnation of Vishnu, who could also be seen as Krishna or Christ or a Buddha or other incarnations, the sustainer. It's the thing that brings balance. And then from there, as you go up, you have, it goes from the heart to the throat and the ajna. And that's where we are right now during the year. Like I said, everything is cyclical. And a lot of the energy, as Genevieve Call says, kind of rises in this hero's journey from the Muladhara up to the crown every year, from solstice to solstice and equinox to equinox. So as we come up from the heart, that's why a lot of people are going to be having these crises of characters. This is why people going through a dark night of the soul are going through accelerations. It's why when I was having my own Kundalini awakening, going from May into June, things became more and more intense because the frequency was rising. Sort of the latent frequency goes from a very low vibration, which is the material world, right, to a very high vibration, which would be like the ethereal plane, the astral world, right, transdimensionality. You go from third dimension to the fourth dimension at the ajna and crown to higher dimensions. We're able to successfully, if we have the right sort of balance, open up those flows from the base to the crown and connect with each other and connect with the divine and connect between inner dimensions. And this is where we bring it all the way back around, sort of as above, so below, to science even, string theory, the idea that matter can never be created nor destroyed. The soul is eternal and everything is connected, right? So each of us and our points of consciousness are tethered right now to this material realm, but we're also interconnected in the ethereal realm, as it was and always will be. So pretty neat. I tried to keep that under 10 minutes, and I think I won. What do y'all think? Hopefully this doesn't get messed up in translation. This is the second time I tried to do it, and I just went to CapCut for it.